Good afternoon. Welcome. We will begin with an invocation. Professor Afonso Seixas Nunes is a member of the full-time law faculty and also a member of the Society of Jesus and law school chaplain. I invite Father Afonso to offer the invocation this afternoon to begin our ceremony. Please rise as you are able for the invocation.
Thank you, Dean Johnson. Dear 2024 graduate students, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first time I'm doing the invocation, but I promise to be short. The motto of our Jesuit law school is for the greater good. But this morning I have to confess that I ran out of ideas and I found myself full of memories of many of my students graduating today. I believe that our Lord Jesus Christ used many of you to make me a better person and a better professor. So first of all, thank you very much. But I was attacked by two interesting memories today. A card from a student that left on my desk a couple of weeks ago, thanking my classes, but informing me that most of the time she was terrified. And thank you, Tiffany, for that. And secondly, the exams of international humanitarian law, which I finished grading last night. And most of you desired me to die from a heart attack. But thanks to my dear student Connor, he always reminds me in my classes, Professor, your time is up. And indeed, our time as your professors is up. Dear graduates, I have in front of you faculty and staff that did their very best, maybe sometimes through intellectual torture, to make you ready to wear your gown today. We are aware of our responsibility, but we are also certainly proud. You are ready for the world. But ready for what? And look behind you, so many chairs empty. Those empty chairs will be filled with new people you will meet, clients, partners, colleagues, and above all, by challenges much more terrifying than me. In a nutshell, the risk of the unknowing future. That can be really, truly terrifying. But the hats that you are wearing today, according to the academic tradition, represent wisdom and knowledge. Be wise and be good, especially with those less fortunate in life. Your mission is to serve and to defend them. May God bless you in this mission of being SLU Law's ambassadors from now on. Amen.
Thank you, Father Afonso. Please be seated. Family members and loved ones, friends and guests, welcome to the St. Louis University School of Law 2024 hooding ceremony. I'm William Johnson. It is my privilege and my honor to serve this law school community as dean. On behalf of this class of 2024 and the faculty and staff of the School of Law, thank you so very much for being here this afternoon to recognize and celebrate our graduates. With me on the stage are members of the faculty, staff, and administration who will hood our graduates this afternoon. A member of the Board of Trustees, the Honorable Jimmy Edwards. SLU Law Ambassador in Residence, U.S. Ambassador to Ireland, Kevin O'Malley. And our distinguished 2024 graduation speaker, whom I will introduce later in the ceremony. All of us are thrilled to see you all here today to join this celebration. This is always such a wonderful time of the academic year, as we celebrate our graduates and their achievements. All the hard work to reach this point has paid off, and the School of Law hooding ceremony is an important opportunity to pause and celebrate the outstanding achievements of our graduates. I always enjoy it. I know my colleagues do too, as they share that with me consistently. But I do think this year is especially meaningful. I will admit it's meaningful to me in part because it is my final law school hooding as dean of this remarkable institution. It's also meaningful to me because I care deeply about these graduates and am so proud of this class and what they have accomplished in their time at SLU Law. Most of the graduates here this afternoon arrived at SLU Law in August 2021 as the world continued to wrestle with the new reality of a global pandemic. We were able to be in person that fall, and yet it did not feel entirely normal. As a result of the pandemic, most of these graduates did not have a very typical first year of law school. And as we started that year, lingering injustice caused pain for the community and contributed to the burden members of the student body carried. But they did it. They got through that first semester. They got through that first year, even though difficult at times. As a community, we emerged better, stronger, closer, and here we are today, following a year that, in my view, has been exceptional, in part because of a return to things that before the pandemic seemed pretty ordinary. We saw the first ever Fiesta Latina this year, a beautiful night, which I hope becomes an annual event. We saw the second annual community iftar, an important and hopeful gathering that was full of meaning. There was a return of so many terrific student org events, speakers, and activities, and that felt really good. This year saw maybe the best Balsa Casino night ever. And what a studious bunch these graduates are, always planning ahead for the bar exam. I saw so many signs in the elevators throughout the entire year advertising bar review after bar review after bar review. Very impressive commitment, and I'm sure it will serve them well in July. This class made it. In fact, they did more than simply make it to this point. In my view, this class has flourished. I am confident that I speak for the entire faculty and staff when I say how very proud we are of this class. Friends, every single graduate here today has done something remarkable by reaching this point despite so much adversity. I am so glad to have been able to see how this amazing group of graduates has persevered while working so hard, maintaining high standards, demonstrating integrity, and importantly, exemplifying the Jesuit identity and mission by seeking justice and consistently being people of service for and with others. Today is the culmination of their hard work, dedication, resilience, and even sacrifice. And it's an important milestone event that marks entry into this legal profession we now share as lawyers. There's another milestone coming in July. Don't think about that today. This is a joyful day. Our graduates will soon share with their colleagues in the law a deeply meaningful responsibility for the American legal system, democratic principles, the rule of law, and justice. And I know that our graduates are ready for that. Graduates, you're ready in large part because of your intellect and your hard work. Without those things, you would not be here today. But you're also ready in part because of the dedication of an incredible staff utterly committed to your senses. Don't we have the best staff you'll find anywhere? For example, how many times has Orilla made your day better with a smile, a word of encouragement, an embrace precisely when you needed it most? She is a treasure, and I know very well that we have the best housekeeping staff of any law school in this country, bar none. The entire staff body is deeply committed to mission, to community, to you, and I am so grateful for that. And it's something that I celebrate. Graduates, you're ready in part because of the excellence of our teaching faculty. Our law school has always placed an emphasis on the importance of excellence in teaching, and we are blessed with truly outstanding teachers. Some of them are tough, as we heard a few minutes ago, but they are all exceptional. The graduating class has a tradition of selecting one outstanding full-time faculty member as the faculty member of the year, and one outstanding adjunct professor to be recognized as adjunct faculty member of the year. Our adjunct faculty members are lawyers, judges, and professionals who enhance and enrich our curriculum and keep us connected with the bench and bar and community. Before we get to the faculty member of the year, who will deliver brief remarks, I would like to recognize the teacher the graduating class chose as adjunct faculty member of the year. The graduating class has selected Professor J.P. Bonnet-Laboy. J.P., would you please rise? Professor Bonnet-Laboy is an alumnus of this law school. And since graduating from SLU Law in 2018, JP has been a critically important member of the SLU Law community, a staff member serving in multiple roles, and an adjunct professor. He began working in the Office of Admissions, which he did because he wanted to help break down barriers to legal education and increase access to the legal profession. He then transitioned to his current role as the Assistant Director for Diversity and Inclusion. As Assistant Director, JP works really hard to make SLU Law a better place. He works closely with all our students to help create and implement programming designed to foster inclusivity and to guide students to achieving their full potential, not only as future lawyers, but as culturally competent members of the community. And as the proud son of parents who immigrated from La República Dominicana, or the Dominican Republic, JP is also the advisor for our Hispanic and Latinx Law Students Association. Since 2021, JP has taught as an adjunct professor as part of the incredibly strong Academic Resource Center team at SLU, teaching in the Legal Methods and Advanced Legal Methodologies courses, and as a grader for our summer essay bar exam prep course. He's also had the honor of serving as the adjunct professor and coach for the SLU Law Black Law Student Association's mock trial competition team and has excelled in that role as well. Teaching excellence is a household affair. Most important to JP, he is husband to SLU Law professor Tina Benigno. And he's also proud dog dad of Oliver the English Bulldog, a very charming little bulldog. Congratulations, JP. This is a very well-deserved recognition. We now turn to Dr. Anders Walker, the Lillie Myers Professor of Law, whom the graduating class has selected to be Faculty Member of the Year. Professor Walker has enjoyed this distinction not once, not twice, but 7 times. He's won it so many times that I have considered naming the award after him, just as soon as he makes a donation of an appropriately large amount, of course. We can talk about that later. Anders loves to teach, and he is truly gifted at it. He's also an outstanding scholar. Professor Walker graduated Phi Beta Kappa from Wesleyan University in 1994. He went on to earn his JD as well as a master's degree in history from Duke University in 1998. He was a law clerk for a federal judge in Texas after graduating from law school, and then completed a PhD at Yale University in 2003 while holding fellowships at both Yale and New York University. He joined the SLU Law faculty in 2006. He teaches courses in criminal law, American legal history, and constitutional law, as well as a variety of very popular seminars. In addition to being a truly gifted teacher, he is an impressive and productive scholar, and he is a wonderful, terrific colleague. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Anders Walker.
Class of 2024, you are the best class I've ever taught. You're the smartest, the hardest working, and gosh darn it, the best looking. And now that your parents are here, I can see why they're good looking as well. But I have some bad news. 3 of you failed your criminal procedure exam. You're going to have to come back in the fall. The rest of you are not graduating today. We lied. You graduate on Saturday. Today, you get your medieval rainwear, or hood. Students at Oxford and Cambridge wore hoods in medieval times to stay dry. You can wear yours on Halloween or to the Wentzville Renaissance Fair. I realize you don't want to come back on Saturday morning, because after this ceremony, you're going to start drinking, and by Saturday, you're going to be extremely hungover. But take 2 Advil and come back to hear John Hamm deliver the commencement address. John Hamm starred as Don Draper in Mad Men. He's a legend and a St. Louis native. I've been trying to get in touch with John Hamm for weeks. No luck. So on Saturday morning, in the middle of his commencement address, I'm going to rush the stage. I'm going to pull my hood down over my face so no one knows who I am. And I'm going to give John Hamm a VHS tape with my phone number written in black Sharpie. It'll be a compilation of my best interviews for Channel 4, Channel 5, and Fox 2. I'm not a lawyer, but I play one on TV. Just yesterday, I was in my office grading exams, and the phone rang. I picked it up, and a woman said, "Hey, are you a lawyer?" I replied, "Sort of." And she said, "Well, are you the guy on TV who was talking about the burglary this week?" I said, "Yes, Channel 5 with Annie Crowell. How'd I look?" She paused and said, "I shot the burglar." "Really?" "Yes. And you said I wouldn't be charged on television. Can you guarantee that?" I said, "No, ma'am. I'm just an actor. You might need to call an attorney." But that's how good I am. And when John Hamm sees what I can do in front of a camera, he's going to invite me to Los Angeles. And when I get to Los Angeles, I'm going to do 3 things. Before overdosing in a jacuzzi. I'm going to overdose in a jacuzzi. Don't try and stop me. That's how I want to go. First, I'm going to sit down with Ben Affleck. I'm going to say, "Ben, I know you're from Boston, and therefore you love Dunkin' Donuts. But have you ever tried gooey butter cake? It's from St. Louis." In 2019, Dunkin' Donuts changed its name to Dunkin'. What if gooey butter cake just changed its name to gooey? It's not really cake, is it? I've arranged a meeting with Kim Kardashian. I'm going to say, "Kim, have you heard about the next gen bar? You can't even pass the past gen bar. You need to get serious and go to law school." Finally, I'm going to pitch a movie idea to Norman Reedus. Norman Reedus starred in The Walking Dead. 11 seasons of zombie-killing excitement. I've got an idea for Norman based on a Wall Street Journal article that came out about a month ago on St. Louis. The Wall Street Journal said that downtown St. Louis was in a doom loop. People were leaving, businesses were leaving, the sky's falling. We might as well all pack up and go to Clayton. I didn't think that was very nice. I was in New York a month ago. I went to Wall Street. The sidewalks were full of meth heads high on cocaine, and that was just the investment bankers. I went on the New York subway, and it was terrifying. It made Metrolink look like It's a Small World at Disney. How dare they say we're in a doom loop? But then I thought, Doom Loop sounds like the name of a film. Starring Norman Reedus, Ben Affleck, and John Hamm. Norman Reedus could play a St. Louis police officer enforcing basic traffic law. Speeding, running red lights, temp tags over 2 years out of date. John Hamm and Ben Affleck will be street racers, high on gooey butter cake, going 100 miles an hour in their Dodge Chargers, menacing tourists. Norman Reedus will bring them to justice with his crossbow. It'll be like Baby Driver meets Talladega Nights meets The Walking Dead. People ask me why I win this award. I tell them it's because I've got ideas. Good ideas, but no one listens to me except for you. I know you had to, but I appreciate it anyway. I'm going to miss this class. We've had a lot of fun over the past 3 years. Keep in touch. Keep it light. I'll see you tomorrow at the reception, and I'll see you Saturday for graduation. Thank you.
Thank you, Anders. He assured me his remarks would be appropriate. Our law school has an exceptional student body. Over the years, I've heard consistently from our alumni and from legal employers who hire our students that SLU law students have an outstanding reputation. They have a reputation for hard work and for reliability. They are known to be strong writers. Our graduates are practical. They have good judgment. This I've heard over and over and over. And this feedback that I've received has reinforced what the faculty, staff, and I see every day. Hard work, dedication, high standards of excellence. Each year at this time, we recognize one student who has so excelled in their academics as to have earned the title valedictorian. The valedictorian for the class of 2024 is Ron Courtney. Ron was born and raised in Springfield, Missouri. He served in the U.S. Air Force from 2001 to 2009, serving in Omaha and Florida. He graduated from Columbia College in Columbia, Missouri in 2008, earning a bachelor's degree in Management Information Systems. Ron also earned an MBA from Missouri State University in 2013. Ron moved to St. Louis in 2015 and began working for the Federal Reserve in St. Louis just prior to starting the part-time evening program at SLU Law in August of 2020. He has remained employed with the Federal Reserve during his 4 years studying law part-time. While in law school, Ron participated in the Human Rights at Home Clinic in the spring 2023 semester, and after graduation, Ron will join the commercial litigation group at the Denton's Law Firm in St. Louis, where he also worked as a summer associate in 2023. He has juggled a great deal, and he has done it successfully. He is the first part-time evening student to earn valedictorian honors in at least the last 15 years, and probably longer. Friends, please join me in welcoming class valedictorian Ron Courtney.
Thank you, Dean Johnson, and thank you, Professor Walker. And thank you to all of the family, friends, and significant others who are here today, who have supported us and been patient with us over the past 3 or 4 years. And before I get too far into this, as Dean Johnson said, the evening students don't get to give this address very often. So I want to specifically thank the school for continuing to invest in the evening program. And I want to recognize the faculty who support the evening students and the professors who teach torts or con law until 10 p.m. on Thursday night so people like me can become a lawyer. Now, my fellow graduates, the SLU Law class of 2024. I know what many of you must have been thinking when Dean Johnson went through my bio. Who is Ron Courtney? Because one of the strange realities about giving this address as an evening student is that if you didn't take evening classes, you've probably never seen me or met me. Evening students have class on Thursday nights during the bar reviews, and most of us are at work during the day while y'all are in class. So I haven't been able to get to know as many of you as I may have liked, but I am honored to be here celebrating this accomplishment with you today. And that's what this day marks. It's a huge accomplishment. We are done with law school. Only 3.5% of the people in this country have a professional degree. I don't know if that number is accurate or not. I got it from Wikipedia. I'm not going to check and see if it's real. Wikipedia is good enough because I'm done with law school. When Dean Barris told me I'd be giving this address, I was honestly much more anxious than I was excited. A lot of that has to do with many of you not knowing who I am. Most of it, though, has to do with I have no idea what to say in a commencement address. So I did what any sensible person would do. I Googled it. And I found and watched a number of fantastic student-given commencement speeches. Some of them were funny, but I can't really do that. I think I'm hilarious, but I'm older than the other graduates, and nobody under 30 really thinks I'm very funny. So joking my way through this, not really going to work. Some of the speakers were super uplifting and inspirational, but I'm probably not the right person to give that type of address either. There's a reason that my friends in the evening program call me, lovingly, I hope, an old curmudgeon. So early in my Google search, I realized I can't give you the type of graduation address that those other speakers give. I've lived a different life than them. I have a different perspective than they do. But what I can do is attempt to share my perspective today. And part of that perspective comes from being a Gen X law student who's about to enter my second career. I've worked in other areas so long that doing something else, especially going to law school and becoming a lawyer, seemed impossible. So during that first year, it would sometimes seem surreal that I was even here. But if I'm being honest, after a few years of briefing cases and outlining for finals, that excitement kind of went away a little bit. I'm sure some of you understand what I'm talking about. But graduation gives us a good chance to reflect and breathe and look back on the last few years. And when I do that, this whole thing feels pretty incredible again. And I feel gratitude. I feel grateful to be here and grateful for the opportunities that this degree affords us. Because that's really why we're all here. We came to this school for opportunity. Alumni of SLU Law are at big firms, small firms, their own firms, public interest firms, and they're working in-house. They're prosecutors and public defenders. They're judges, and they're elected officials, for better or worse. But I don't just mean the professional opportunities. This degree also affords us the opportunity to help people. And many of us got to experience that while working in the school's legal clinics. And this degree also affords us the opportunity to do interesting and engaging work, whatever that may look like to you. Trust me, I have worked enough years to understand that the opportunity to do interesting and meaningful work is a blessing. And my perspective has also been shaped by the people that I met here at SLU Law. I had the opportunity a few years ago to take trial advocacy with Judge Christopher McGraw, and it's been a few years, so I'll try and do his words justice. But on the first or second day of class, he shared that he could trace so many of the meaningful relationships in his life back to his time as a student here at SLU Law, his time in the public defender's office, in private practice, and his career as a judge. So while we're all entering a profession, it's more than that. It's the people we meet, it's the people we impact, and it's the people who impact us, starting with the friendships and the relationships that we formed here. And one last thing I took away from my semester with Judge McGraw, he keeps a little SLU Law shrine on a shelf in his office in the courthouse. He's proud to have graduated from this school. All of the lawyers I've met that come from SLU Law are proud to come from this school. I'm proud to graduate from this school, and I'm proud to graduate alongside each of you. So congratulations one more time, class of 2024. Glad I finally got to meet you, and I look forward to our paths crossing again in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ron, and well done. Now the moment has arrived to recognize our graduates at this hooding ceremony. The placing of the purple, blue, and white hood on each graduate is the symbolic recognition of completion of the requirements for the Juris Doctor degree, or the Master of Laws in Health Law, or Master of Laws in American Law for Foreign Lawyers degrees. The color purple is for law as a discipline, and the colors blue and white are for St. Louis University. The graduates will be hooded by my colleagues. With that, let's begin.
Cecil Adassi. Ari Benzimra. Gregach Inyach. Jacob Hunter Addington. Sarah Elizabeth Aga. Brian David Ali. Dorothy Mirland Alcenord. Johanna R. Ananth. Caitlin Elizabeth Austin. Sarah Louise Ayers. Derek Wayne Bassinger. Robert Joseph Bateman. Nicole Beachboard. Edna Besich. Emma Childress Bishop. Alan V. Bitzer. Benjamin E. Bott. Nairi M. Bradley. Ryan Patrick Brooks. Caitlin N. Bueller. Catherine Ann Bisher. Mark Keeler Bice. Brooke Marie Burke. Robert J. Burke. Kateri Tritken Buzik. Kayla Marie Kamazine. Matthew Joseph Clarkson. Kate Suzanne Kogan. Beatrice Mary Connigan. Turner Dalton Cook. Ron Remington Courtney. Mitchell L. DeLeal. Jane Claire Delworth. Rachel Lee Dubiner. Haley Kathleen Dirks. John Donnelly. Ryan P. Dowd. Martina Deutscheva. Chloe McGee Driscoll. John M. Edwards. Ty J. Feeney. Jackson Fink. Alex Flores. Jennifer C. Fritz in memoriam. Grant Gam. Genevieve Gatu. Alexander Thomas Joya. Sierra Lynn Gold. Mitchell Z. Gordon. Mason Brianne Graber. Callan Armelda Green. Blake Grisham. Nathan G. Graug. Neil Gutterman. Nathaniel Joseph Hazy. James Joseph Hackett. Shane P. Haley. Christine G. Hall Schweiss. Blake A. Harding. Jill A. Hetherington. Allison R. Holly. J. Michael Holman. Sarah, Sarah Nicole Holtman. Cecilia Therese Honig. John Martin Hood. Catherine Claire Horvatis. Jackson R. Hughes. Paige Nicole Hume. Nadia Cherie Hundley. Ekene IJ. Lily Hubbard Eiler. Anna Elizabeth Iman. Nina Ithivancum. Hassan Jaffrey. Manny M. Jandernaugh. Mackenzie Ray Jarva. Carter Dan Jensen. Jeremy M. Jones. Patrick Fallon Capples. Trenton Donnie Keene. Andrew S. Kelly. Carson K. Klein. Adam X. Kosmicki. Philip Kowalski. Kayla J. Krasinski. Aneshka Elizabeth Krobot. Daria S. Kuchiraba. Madeline Page Laquier. Josie Lee Cavali. Jeffrey Lynn. Stephen Robert Lockwood. Melissa G. Mann. Treston Dare Marshall. Courtney Nicole Martin. Marissa Ann Martino. Jacob A. Matthews. Brendan M. May. Jacob R. McCarthy. Jordan M. McGehee. Brendan Francis McGuire, Jr. Riley Alex McMahon. Joseph M. Meidel. Megan Ann Melvin. David J. Miller. Hudson Alexander Mitchell. Kimberly Michelle Moore. Joshua Ezekiel Morales. Camila Moreno Jimenez. Samuel Hart Morgan. Gwendolina M. Mozinski. Lucas Allen Motley. Meredith Penn Mulhern. Sade Musich. Shayla Mustafik. Larissa Nesimovich. Katie Beth Nichols. Amanda Ray Noel. Miranda Rochelle Nolan. Claire H. Novagraki. Elizabeth S. Nutt. Queen Ugona Wudo. William James O'Brien. Mikey Oligario. Dalila Omarovich. Armina Osmanovich. Courtney Otis. Joseph C. Page. Grace Panicola. Caitlin Elizabeth Parker. Nandi Bosade Person. Allison K. Peterbaugh. Maya A. Fan. Zachary John Quass. Maria Andrea Ramos. Clarissa Danielle Reed. Rachel Nicole Reeder. Sydney Helen Rempe. Joseph Tyler Retzer. Arthur Joseph Rizvi. Hope Marion Autry Robinson. Latrice Antoinette Robinson. Vivian Ross. Jacob Royal. Sarah Elizabeth Rutherford. Michael Arthur Safley. Lexine Claire Solomon. Blake David Sanders. Jose Manuel Sandoval, Jr. Aaron M. Sass. Hallie Rachel Schechter. Mary Rose Schnellman. Ann P. Shaddy. Brody Thomas Shea. Michael Patrick Shea. Andrew Daniel Hearns Sindelar. Catherine Elizabeth Smothers. Matthew R. Swafford. Dan Ta. Madeline C. Tatro. Donald Keith Thomas III. Monica Mae Thompson. Trevor Andrew Thornton. Richard Villalba. David L.M. Walker, Jr. Holly Haddock Walker. Connor R. Wallace. Nicholas Ryan Weaver. Mary Grace Webb. Helen Sherman Webster. Connor Welby. Charles Foster Witten. Jordan Williams. Clara N. Wilson. Rashay Williams. Charlie Wu. Tiffany Lakota Zambrano. Ashlyn Joy Zapolsky. Joshua Edward Zeller. Congratulations to the SLU Law Class of 2024.
Graduates, I invite you to stand as you are able. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, I present to you the members of the 2024 graduating class of St. Louis University School of Law. Please be seated. That was beautiful. Congratulations. It is now my privilege and honor to introduce the distinguished 2024 John C. Shepherd graduation speaker, the Honorable Justice John McMenamin, retired 10-year member of the Supreme Court of Ireland. Justice McMenamin was senior ordinary judge of the Supreme Court of Ireland when he reached the statutory retirement age of 70 in November 2022. During his career on that court, Judge McMenamin delivered significant judgments, some of them described by commentators as landmark, in the areas of constitutional and administrative law. He's had a very long, distinguished, and impressive career that led to his appointment to Ireland's highest court in 2012. Among other things, prior to serving on the Supreme Court of Ireland, Justice McMenamin served on the Irish High Court for 8 years, and before that, as a barrister and senior counsel, he specialized in administrative and defamation law. For 3 years while serving on the Supreme Court, Judge McMenamin was Ireland's representative on the Consultative Council of European Judges, an advisory body to assist and support judicial independence in Western and Eastern Europe. He has participated and spoken at conferences from North Macedonia to Latvia and represented the European Union at judicial conferences in Ukraine. He's become a dear friend to SLU Law and a dear friend of mine. He has hosted groups of alumni in Dublin on multiple occasions and has visited SLU Law twice before. His full bio is in the program, and it is very impressive. I hope you'll take the time to take a look at it. But I can tell you today that he is brilliant and accomplished and weaves together a love for the law, history, and world affairs. I'm so thrilled that he's become such a good friend to SLU Law and that he has kindly agreed to serve as our graduation speaker. I'm honored to present the 2024 graduation speaker, the Honorable Mr. Justice John McMenamin.
I'm deeply honored and flattered to have been invited here today. This is your day, all of you, and we are here to celebrate your achievement. Doubtless later on you will celebrate by having some orange juice, or not orange juice. And I should warn you that because I'm no longer a judge, I don't have to observe the same kind of decorum that judges have to engage in. So I can be bold. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, I need your help, my new fellow lawyers. You, all of us know that law is never easy. There can be suffering in the study of law. And as we all know, your achievement today is a shared one. So let's now remember the other sufferers around here. So when I count to 3, I want you to give them a great big cheer. 1, 2, 3. That's pretty satisfactory. Well done. I want particularly to mark 2 people. First of all, I want to recognize Kevin O'Malley, who was a wonderful ambassador for the United States to Ireland. Somebody said of him that he did 8 years' work in the 3 years' time that he served as an ambassador. That was an underestimate. He set up a wonderful cultural exchange program, which stands as a monument to his extraordinary interest and engagement in Ireland. On behalf of the Irish people, Kevin, I want to thank you for the work you did for us. The second person I want to thank particularly is my old friend, William Johnson. Dean Johnson, who has been, I know, a wonderful leader of the law school. And you'll miss him. So let's give a big cheer for Kevin O'Malley and William Johnson. And now, just give a big cheer for yourselves. 1, 2, 3, go. You can all join in. My task today is to impart some witty or intelligent observations, preferably simultaneously. There's nothing more irritating, though, than listening to somebody giving advice, especially an old retired judge. So there's no advice, no counseling. You've reached a significant chapter in your lives. And those of us, you come from the Harry Potter generation, and you will remember Septimus Snape, who had the magical gift of imparting memories. You remember that? Well, I'm going to just impart a few memories, and you can draw some conclusions from those memories. So what comes back to my mind? The first thing that comes back to my mind is the day I qualified as a lawyer. And I sure wasn't sure that I wanted to be a lawyer at all. So I want to talk to all of you who aren't sure. You haven't wasted your time, because the study of law will stand to you no matter what you do. For me, the difference was the realization that the practice of law is about people. And when I talk about people, I talk about the clients who will rely on you and trust you. Your colleagues. Collegiality is vital in law. Your counterparts in other law firms. Remember, they're not enemies. Remember that people make mistakes. You may be the one to make a mistake. Treat others as you would like to be treated yourself. And remember, when you're in court, the people you must persuade are the judge and jury and not your clients. And remember, what can happen in a courtroom matters outside the courtroom. About 100 miles, a second memory, or an image. About 100 miles north of here, there's a gravestone in Hannibal, Missouri. Many of you lawyers will know what's written on that gravestone because it's kind of famous. Each era finds an improvement in law for the benefit of mankind. And as you lawyers will know, that inscription is on the grave of Clarence Earl Gideon from Gideon and Wainwright. And he wasn't exactly a role model, but he sent a letter to Washington and he made legal history. And he was represented by a great lawyer, Abe Fortas, who argued the case of Gideon versus Wainwright, which, as you know, established that due process required that the state should provide counsel in serious criminal cases. That right is fundamental. People have an entitlement to proper representation. And the reason why it comes to my mind is that case of Gideon versus Wainwright was cited and relied on in our Irish Supreme Court in a case called Healy versus Donoghue, where the right of representation was recognized as a matter of Irish law. And there's a lesson there. The law can have reach. There are strong common elements in the common law. And there are common standards and understandings. And we all have to work for the benefit of people in society. Lawyers in foreign countries do look to the United States for precedents because of the simple fact that your Constitution began "we the people" instead of "I the king." Gideon hoped that his improvement would benefit all people. That one case made a difference to countless people, and not just in the United States. So let us remember that there can be really bright, shining moments in law. There will always be room for lawyers also whose bright, shining moment will be whose car came first on the intersection. But not all laws about that. There are also perhaps less bright experiences. You, the class of 24, have come through unprecedented experiences. You have shown huge resilience, not just in law school, but you had to withstand all forms of pressure during your academic careers. There's one thing I think you will probably share, a memory of your final year. That was the eclipse. And can I just refer you to what one observer said in Erie in Pennsylvania? She said, "You see the blue sky, and then in minutes it turns dark and you see night and stars, and then you realize that that's a reality that's out there and we just don't know." And her friend said, "It takes the darkness to see the reality that's out there." So it's important sometimes to remember the dark parts of law. It's important because it teaches us the imperatives of the mission that we each undertake when we become a lawyer. I once went to Russia on an exchange. There was a reception. A group of Irish lawyers were there. Funny thing happened at the reception. All the Irish lawyers were talking, but the Russian lawyers went to talk to one man who was the local prosecutor. And why did they do that? Because he was the law. He was the prosecutor and effectively the appeal judge. He could overrule any decision that was made by a judge. And it's only when you see something like that up close you realize what the separation of powers is really about. You realize that we are engaged in something sacred. That is the separation of powers and the rule of law. And I have another grimmer memory of being at a conference once in the Czech Republic, and then I went to Poland. And I traveled north of the town of Krakow, and I saw a grim reminder of the way in which law can be used for evil purposes. And there in the camp were huge piles of suitcases and eyeglasses and shoes, the left behind relics of people who had been told they were going to a new future. And all that had been permitted by law. And I traveled around Europe and met judges and lawyers from all around Europe. And each one of them shared the value of wanting to have the rule of law and democracy. I think back to the time when in 2018 I spoke to a group of young lawyers a little older than yourselves. They were training to become judges. That was in Kiev. Some of them, are still judges. Others are fighting for their country. All of them wanted so much to have a country that was governed by the rule of law. But then there are, I think, of more cheerful images. On one occasion, I participated in a march in Poland, in Warsaw, where 1,000 judges and lawyers marched together through the streets of Warsaw to protest against attempts by the then Polish government to suppress a free and independent judiciary and to impose disciplinary sanctions on independent judges. And when I spoke to all those judges and lawyers, they all stood for the rule of law and democracy. And happily in Poland, that process has been reversed. So what do these impressions amount to? You lawyers know, you work with a mnemonic. So let's start with ROL. That's rule of law. The 18th century English writer Fuller said, "Be you ever so high, the law is above you." That principle still applies today. The second letter I use is E, and that stands for equality. All individuals are equal before the law. And M stands for money. And when you look back on your lives as lawyers in May 2074, I respectfully doubt if you will see that money was the true measure of your success. Because what I think you will see as the measure of your success is whether you made a difference. The next letter is O. It's more controversial. It stands for order. But let's not misunderstand that. Your university has a statue of the Greek goddess of law. She holds the scales of justice. But she was the goddess of much more than law. She was the goddess of fairness and customs and institutions in society which guarantee fairness and justice. And the next letter is D, which stands for difference, which we spoke of earlier. But it can also stand for division, and law can be used to create division as well. And E stands for ethics and rules, but not just professional ethics and rules, but also the ethics that underlie the law itself. And lastly, unashamedly, is L. And I choose it without sentimentality because it stands for the value of love. Please remember that the law is a profession and not an obsession. What will always be more important to all of you are those who are close to you, spouses and partners, children, parents, friends. So if we take all those letters together, we end up with ROLEMODEL, which comes out as role model. But maybe none of us can be really role models. We do our best. I just ask you to remember one thing. Today, you have become lawyers. We practice law, but we do not own the law. We must remember that the law belongs to the people. It cannot be seen as the preserve of the few. It must be seen as the property of the many. The law belongs in streets and fields as well as in great noble buildings. So we all of us, have to reach out and explain and explain and explain, because we have a duty to explain what law is about. One or two other things I learned as a young lawyer. Listen to what the other side are saying. Ask your own clients, why are they saying it? I learned that great lawyers do not have one particular political viewpoint, but they all share a belief in the rule of law. I learned to my cost that one should be careful of being morally virtuous. No individual or group has a complete monopoly of moral virtue. Remember values like dignity, respect, and tolerance, because they're fundamentally important in society. And remember that loss of faith in the rule of law can come from fear or boredom or taking things for granted or sheer exhaustion. People nowadays are fond of quoting the Irish poet William Butler Yeats, who wrote about things fall apart, the centre cannot hold, the best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. And I'm not speaking here about left-wing or right-wing or conservatism or liberalism or radicalism or populism, but of the rule of law system and structure that has allowed societies to evolve peacefully through law, and where the law is both the weave that binds our societies together and allows disputes to be resolved without force. I make no extravagant claims for the rule of law. I merely say that on the basis of my experience, democracy and the rule of law is better than any alternative. The centre cannot hold. I believe that it's the function, indeed the duty, of lawyers to ensure that they assist in holding that centre, that vital centre which is essential to every society. So what I've learned is that the law is what you make it. You don't have to be a lawyer. Law can be used for good or evil purposes. Law has values. Law belongs to the people. Keep learning from others. And fundamentally, there is a right and wrong. So now, the torch of improving society will pass to all of you. No matter what kind of law you practice, or whether you practice law at all. Some suggest that your generation is less resilient than others. I totally reject that. You've come through an arduous process. I cannot foretell that your lives will be easy. I do foretell that you will have to address some of the greatest challenges that human beings have ever had to challenge. Your lives and health and welfare decisions must be made by human beings and not by AI. The pursuit of happiness and justice depends on protecting institutions that best vindicate those values. To conclude, the country I come from has a strong missionary tradition. 8 presidents of your university had Irish surnames. But I believe that each one of you must have a sense of mission as you go out now into society. It was, in fact, a great Irish lawyer, John Philpott Curran, and not Thomas Jefferson, who said the words to the effect that the price of liberty is eternal vigilance. It is you now who must be vigilant. It is you who will have the opportunity to make a difference in society. And it is you who will have the opportunity to vindicate the values and concepts that previous generations have clung to and fought for. Whether in courts or out of them, you will have successes and failures. We learn from them both. For myself and for all of us here, I conclude by wishing you some words in the Irish language. The first wish I have for you is Gunari an Bohar live, and that means may the road rise with you. And the second wish I have for you is Ber Bo agus Bannacht, and that means have success and blessings. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Justice McMenamin. I'm so grateful to know you and grateful for all you do and grateful for your kind and wise words today. Justice McMenamin referred to suffering in law school, and I know you don't need me to tell you that law school is difficult. It is exhausting. It can be humbling. It certainly was for me. So very humbling at times. You have navigated it with great success, but we know that it isn't just you who navigates the pressures of law school. With us today are your family and friends, your spouses, partners, parents and grandparents, children, other family members and dear friends. All who are here with us today have supported you financially, emotionally, by keeping you motivated when you needed it, and in numerous other ways. Graduates, I know you appreciate all the support and encouragement you've been given to help you reach this point, because I've heard so many of you tell me so. So I invite you to rise, turn to your family, friends, and loved ones, and show them how much you appreciate their support with a big round of applause. You can remain standing for the benediction if you'd like. Father Afonso, would you be so kind as to offer the benediction at this time? For the rest of the audience, please rise as you are able for the benediction.
Dear graduate students, I just received a text message which says, I was starving, I went for lunch, I will hear your prayer afterwards. Sign, God. Dear Lord, we present to you the 2024 SLU Law graduates. May your love shine upon them and with the Holy Spirit help them to live up to the challenges of the world, being men and women for others. And please help them to pay their loans. Amen.
Please be seated. Thank you so much, Father Afonso. Our hooding ceremony now draws to a close, to be followed by an open house reception at Scott Hall tomorrow afternoon and university commencement Saturday morning right here in Chaifetz Arena, which, if Anders Walker is to be trusted, promises to be a very exciting event. I hope many of you are able to be back here on Saturday. We will have a formal recessional at the stage party and the graduates. I ask the members of the audience to remain at your places until the recessional is complete. Graduates, as you leave here and pursue your journey, I invite you to heed the advice of Justice McMenamin, and I advise you and invite you and encourage you to seek justice. And I agree this is above politics. Republicans, Democrats, and independents can and should disagree, sometimes vigorously, on important questions of politics and policy. Yet each of us, as a member of this Jesuit law school community, is called to insert ourselves in the world on behalf of those who seek justice. And I urge you to answer that call and be the architects of a more just society. The profession needs you. The world needs you. I've gotten to know you, and you give me hope. We all wish you the very best. We're going to miss you, but we trust and hope that you will visit often. We are so very proud of you and cannot wait to see what you accomplish tomorrow. We know that it's going to be exceptional. I have one final thing, and I hope you will humor me. Close your eyes for just a moment if you're game. Take a deep breath. Let a smile form on your lips, and consider this. You just graduated from law school, and that is a very big deal. Congratulations.